Gives me great honour, guys, here today to present the number 16 Guernsey over to Jarrad Jansen, who's come up from Geelong and originally from East Fremantle, and it's a real honour that after 15 years I'm able to hand the jumper along. And when I first got asked to wear 16 from the great Matty Clark, who was the first best and fairest winner at the Brisbane Lions, I could only hope to be half as good as he was and carry on that tradition. I'm sure Jarrad will be able to do the same, and hopefully we can see the 16 playing another premiership in the next few years. And certainly know there's a lot of positive news about the footy club at the moment. I also think it's a pretty gutsy move by a young fella here to get out of his comfort zone and chase his dream after missing out an opportunity down the Cats. So it's been a great honour to give the 16 to Jarrad, and I'll be his #1 supporter, that's for sure. I'm sure he'll do the jumper proud, and he's already got his first supporter, little Jack Brown. He's got the 16 on the back there, and hopefully you can warm it for him, mate, and hand it over to him in about 15 years' time when he's ready to wear it. So good on you, mate. Well done. No worries. It's going to be great having you up here.
Thank you. Cheers. So Jarrad, your first game at the Gabby, there's going to be hundreds of kids running around with number 16 on their backs, so you would have made an immediate impact.
Yeah, it would have been a big pre-season for me down at Cooperoo. So yeah, you know, it's an absolute privilege to be taking the jumper off Brownie. I mean, he's a legend of the club. It's a legendary number, and it's very important to the club. And you know, hopefully I can get it out there for the first time and build something from there.
Bit of pressure in the 16?
There is an element of pressure, but you know, once a step away from that, when you're training every day with your teammates, I think that you know, that you forget about that pressure and you want to better yourself as a player.
How does it make you feel, being part of the Brisbane Lions now? It's really groundbreaking all that what they think of you as a player.
Yeah, I've got a fair bit of learning to do about the footy club. I still need to learn about the history and everything of the Fitzroy Lions and Brisbane Bears and the merge and all that. But yeah, you know, I can't wait to learn about all of it and yeah.
What was your sort of initial reaction, I guess, when you found out you were going to get 16?
I was very grateful. You know, it's obviously the great man has made it famous, and you know, it's definitely not. I won't take the opportunity for granted, and you know, I think Brownie would agree that the jumper itself is probably more important than the number. And you know, if you've got 22 blokes out there on the Saturday or AFL game day, then taking pride in the jumper, then I don't think too much can go wrong.
Do you take it as a vote of confidence in your abilities from the club, though?
Yes, I do. I feel wanted around here. Geelong were very good to me, and we're always grateful for how much I learned down there, and you know, the opportunity I was given to begin with, and the way they handled the trade period with me. They were very honest at the end of the year, and you know, I couldn't be happier to be up here.
Where do you see yourself slotting into the lineup, Jarrad?
Hopefully able to get into the midfield and swing forward. You know, hopefully I can add a bit of a different element to the midfield, being a bit bigger than some of the midfielders in the side at the moment. But you know, there's so much hard work to be done from now until, you know, the first NAB Cup game, and you know, it's not the week before selection at the NAB series that I've got to ramp my work up. It starts now. It started on the 9th of November. So
he's a big rooster, yeah. Dave. He's a big rooster for a midfielder. It's good. Big body midfielders win premierships. Always say. I think, like I just said, you know, being a big body, Brisbane needs some big, strong midfielders in there to complement the other mids already on the list. I just think it's a gutsy move. You know, he's out of his comfort zone. He's been to the great footy club in Geelong for a couple of years, but pursuing further opportunities, come to a club, you know, Brisbane really, you know, starting at the bottom. But there's a lot of positive things happening around the footy club, and I think it'll be a good move for him. And you'll see him finally get out there and play some senior AFL footy, and I think it'll be a move that's been rewarded and not often seen by kids these days to get out of their comfort zone. I think it's great. Oh yeah, I'm very, very happy, and I think I'm glad that he feels welcome and part of the footy club, and you know, we really want to build that and harness that family culture within the club. It's important. We've got a lot of interstate players here, so if he feels welcome and a part of the club, that's really positive. He's going to get the best out of his training and hopefully the best out of himself, fingers crossed, providing his body holds up throughout the season.
Brad, you get in the jersey. What's the best tip you can give him? What you got when you were at St. Louis?
Well, people used to think, how in hell I've got me football jumper on the wall when my first season. It was actually because Doc Clark was the first ever best in Ferris winner of the Lions. I hadn't even played a game of the Lions. My numbers are already up on the wall. So I used to claim it, but the tip is, no matter really I'm glad to be honest, I'm glad he's not a forward. I think it would have been unfair pressure if he was a key forward. So I'm glad it's gone to someone other than a forward. But just work hard and get stuck into it and put the sunscreen on over the next couple of months.
Jarrad, how does 2 years in the system without playing make you a better player now?
Obviously, with the great players down at Geelong, I was able to build a really good foundation of skills and knowledge of the game. So hopefully I've definitely come out of my 2 years at Geelong as a better player, and to be able to bring that up here and hopefully share what I've been told by some of the really great players of Geelong, then I think I'll slot in really well.
Brad, are you moving back to Melbourne with Brett? Do you still have a bit to do with the joint with the Lions?
Yeah, I was always stay involved, and only a phone call away from Leper and the boys. I'm glad to see we've got 7 games in Victoria this year, so I'll be able to catch up with the boys and obviously take a keen interest in the key forwards, especially the development of them, and really wrap that Josh Walker can come in and add a bit of experience, and I think he's going to go ahead in leaps and bounds now. And also, the younger forwards in Freeman and Close especially that were injured all year, just hopefully they can come along.
Speaking of coaching, Ackers looks like he's going to get a job at the Bombers. Do you reckon Acker will go in the coaching?
Oh, it'd be great, especially in the development route. He was always very big on his skills and working on his skills, and he'd be a tremendous sounding board, I think, for young players, and obviously he'd be able to help them with some of the exterior stuff and dealing with being an AFL footballer as well. But I think he'd be a fantastic development coach, and he's worked really hard in North Albury over the last couple of years. He's got that outside perspective, and I think well done to him.
What about you in the future? Would you be interested in going down that same path?
Well, it just depends. We've got to plan on going to Melbourne for a few years, and my heart will always be close to the Lions. I can't see myself being involved in football in full time in the next few years, but time will tell. But at the moment, with Foxtel and Nova, I'm really enjoying my employment with them, and just really support from afar, and that's why I'm excited to, not just because we're looking at Jarrad today with the number 16, but obviously the footy club's been through a lot of change in the last 6 months. A lot of negative criticism last year. Leper receives negative criticism as well in the outside world, but I think whenever there's some changes made, there's always going to be some I suppose some rougher waters, but I really think the footy club's pushing in the right direction, and I think if we can just start to retain our players and mature as a list and not be young all the time, I think the footy club can really improve pretty quickly.
Brandy's moved to Melbourne, is that why
I'm not sure. No, the footy club retired the jumpers for 12 months, and I'm glad it's gone to another player now, because it's exciting to see the 16 run around, and finally now it gives me closure. I feel like I'm retired now. So I've had these thoughts of making a comeback for the last 18 months while the jumper was still spare, but now it's well and truly closed off. I'm excited to see the footy club's progression in the next few years, and I'm really excited for Leper and the staff he's got around him. I think they can make some steps and head back in the right direction.
Jarrad made the call with the side.
Oh no, the footy club made the call, and I never want to be a part of that sort of stuff, and I know he'll do it proud, and I just think he's got the right attitude, and for me it's all about the attitude, and he's fit and he's healthy. He's done all the pre-season, and he's got a good attitude coming up to Brisbane. We want people in Brisbane that want to be in Brisbane, and they want to wear the Mighty Lions jumper, and it's a proud jumper, and it's important that we've got players in it that actually want to wear that jumper.
Mate, Is it clean? There's no blood on that one by any chance? Just along that, the right attitude, bravery, courage, some say madness, it's getting back to that word pressure, like he personifies those qualities, doesn't he? And it's a fair gig to follow.
Yeah, absolutely. I was on YouTube. I was having a look at a few of his highlights the other day, and some of the stuff he was doing running back into the pack, eyes on the ball, never left it, and it's so courageous. And the first thing you think about when you hear your name is courage, leadership, strength, and you can see in some of the guys coming through with Dan McStay and Michael Close that he's obviously had an impact with his mentoring role through the footy club.
Well done. Well said.
From the Lions' point of view, Jarrad, I'm sure it'd be impressive that you've actually chosen to make the move north from Geelong rather than wanting to head back to your home state. What was your thinking there? Was it just purely in search of opportunities?
Yeah, well, obviously I lived away from home for 2 years, no problems, and even when things were going tough over there, I wasn't getting a look in for a senior game, but it's purely for opportunity. I think with a young list, it's pretty exciting, and hopefully I can be a part of something up here, and we can really build something this pre-season and moving into this year.